what is it that you find so hard to believe? Yes, I found a perfect ranking for all the crews in the story.
I already can sense you're about to waste my precious time.
Give me time and I can prove it. And also, based on what I know, Rock's Pirates is not even the strongest crew in the story of One Piece. I can prove it.
Are you trying to piss me off so easily?
Yeah, I know it's a bold claim, but give me time and I can prove it without any shred of doubt. But for now, let us start with number 10.
Why 10? We have over 100 crew in the story.
What, you want me to compare Arlong with Kaido?
If you are about to do something, do it properly.
Well, I don't. I just want to talk about great pirates and emperors of the sea and rank their organization in my top 10.
So, no Arlong?
No Arlong.
You know that I do despise you. It's nothing personal. I just hate who you are.
Okay, let me have my own list. At number 10, and I thought about this a lot, we have the newly found Emperor crew, Cross Guild.
I knew it. You shameless Mihawk hater. He had to be at the lowest of them all.
It's not about hate. They only have Mihawk. They only have Crocodile. Sure, Mihawk is a Yonko level character, but so is every other captain in their list. Also, at best case scenario, Crocodile is just the first Yonko commander. It's not a very strong force as we speak.
I will tell you how strong they will become when they raid Impel Down and take Doflamingo and Vivil as their ally.
In fact, I agree. If they have Doflamingo and the son of Whitebeard, Edward Vivil, sure, they're gonna be far stronger. Though I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna rank them up and say they are number 9, even with this additional power.
Wonderful. So you accept that you are a hater.
Okay, let me compromise. If Boa Hancock and the entire Amazon Lily army join them, I'm gonna move them up. But for now, number 10 is fair. Come on, it's not hate. They are newly found Emperor group with 2 people.
So do tell, who is at your number 9?
At number 9, and I'm almost sure about it, we have Luffy.
So in a war, Zoro will overcome Mihawk?
Yeah, it sounds strange, but Luffy is the sun god Nika, and he also has Zoro, who is more than capable of defeating Crocodile. He also has Jinbei, Sanji, and not to mention, we are talking about a war among Yonko. They also have the Grand Fleet, and they are more than capable of helping him. So Mihawk alone cannot stop all of these people, even if we assume that he's stronger than Luffy, something that is never proven as we speak.
I hate it when I cannot demolish you in a debate. Well, but you are suggesting that Luffy is below Kaido and Big Mom?
We will get to that. We will get to that. But for now, I'm gonna say at number 8, we have the Golden Lion, Shiki.
The man who lost to Roger, while he literally had 100 times more manpower. He's not that strong in terms of war.
Okay, look at it like this. The man who fought against the entire Marineford and destroyed half of that location. Something that Whitebeard and his entire army did it. He did it all by himself. And lost. He lost God Valley. He lost Ed War. He lost Marineford. He is among the greatest loser in the story. True, he might be the stepfather of Captain Useless Mead, but nonetheless, he was one of the most major rivals of Gol D Roger, with hundreds of ships under his command.
People that we saw nothing from them.
We know that he has 100 captain and crew under his command. This means 100 captain of New World and their crew ready to fight under his banner. And do not forget that Whitebeard only has 23. He has over 100.
Yet he commanded no infamous underling.
That we know of. We can give him the benefit of doubt.
So you just want to give him this tremendous benefit of doubt. What? Are you in love with this man?
I like to assume 100 captains of New World who are working under a great pirate are stronger than a king or Katakuri or Marco.
But knowing you, this logic won't apply to Ben Beckman, right?
I mean, no, because of course we know that Ben Beckman is a totally different story. But nonetheless, the narrator said Oro Jackson survived this battle because Roger got lucky. Lucky! Shiki wanted to conquer the entire world. Xebec, Shiki, Kaido, only these rocks pirate had this type of ambition. His crew was certified as strong.
Well, in fact, no. Kaido Dream was dying in the greatest battle of all time. So do tell, who is at your number 7, boy?
At number 7, I have Kaido.
The man who was defeated by Luffy.
You talk as if Luffy did it alone. He had the help of Law, Captain Kidd, all the mink, all the samurai, everyone. Luffy wasn't alone. He didn't do that alone.
Are you forgetting that he had the great help of the Emperors of the Sea, Big Mom?
And Luffy had plot armor and Oda fighting by his side, because you know that Big Mom only was defeated thanks to plot armor, and Kidd and Law weren't strong enough to do it by their own. No.
I honestly don't know where to stand on this, but I do know that my job is to stand against you. So let me say, Queen turned thousands of their own men against Kaido because he was an incompetent leader. You don't want to take this in the counter and say they might be weaker?
No. You see, Squad, the son of Whitebeard, stabbed him thanks to the lies that Akainu told him. You know, in a plot, in a scenario with cause and effect, anything is almost likely. We cannot make up plot and scenario to talk about the power level of character. We can only judge them based on the raw power that they have.
Let's not forget that some of Kaido's underlings are indeed imposters like X-Drake.
Yeah, but you still have 5 of those flying 6, 2 of the supernova, 20,000 men, and like 500 Zoan user. You cannot look down on these people.
Well, numbers in the world of One Piece are quite meaningless. While he had 20,000 men, Luffy has a very powerful Grand Fleet. Let's not forget that right now, Straw Hats, without the help of Grand Fleet, are surrendered by 30,000 Marine and some quite very attractive and hot and also a strong Vice Admiral.
Sure, maybe Luffy and Kaido is still not that far away, but Kaido is the more established pirate. So in a war, we still need to give him the benefit of doubt, knowing that Kaido still might be stronger than Luffy. Let's not debate about that. Please, just please don't.
So, if Kaido is at your number 7, you want to look me in the eyes and actually claim that Big Mom wins a war against Kaido?
Yes, I want to look you in the eyes and tell you that Big Mom is better than Kaido in a war, because as I said, we need to accept that the reason Big Mom was out is because of the plot armor. In an actual war, Big Mom has the upper hand because she is actually a political leader. She is the only emperor of the sea who became an emperor by being an emperor and not winning any major war.
Wait. Let's not make outrageous claim. We all know for a fact from Eight's novel that Whitebeard was the man with the strongest kingdom.
Yeah. Yes, but we also have statements saying that Big Mom has the strongest family, while we have Monkey D family or Figarland family. You cannot really say that because of one statement, it's game over.
You do understand this scenario that as soon as Kaido defeats Big Mom, no underling of Big Mom are capable of slightly injuring this demon of the man.
That is actually true, but again, this is a war, and since Big Mom has a lot more power in a fight, I'm gonna give the benefit of that to Big Mom because she has an empire holding her back.
Are you forgetting that you recently just said Kaido had 20,000 men and 500 Zoan users?
Yes, but look at the Whole Cake Island. Throughout this arc, we saw that Big Mom has an empire. She doesn't have commanders, she has ministers. All of them are leading armies of tens of thousands of men to do different light work for them. If we claim that Big Mom has like 100,000 underlings, we are not even exaggerating.
And 99% of those people can be destroyed with one blast of conquer hockey.
We don't know that. And let's not forget that Big Mom has so many different allies. Big Mom just breed and give daughters and sons to different kings and queens and is bringing a lot of allies. And in the Judgment Day, assuming all of those kings and queens and good pirates come to her aid, we have tens of kingdoms fighting her, like assuming she was alive, fighting side by side of her. In terms of numbers, Big Mom can bring the highest number of soldier that one pirate could ever produce.
And who is to say those people are about to help Big Mom? In the Whole Cake Island, we saw two of those families, Windsmoke and Veggie, and both of them turned against Big Mom at the hour of greatest need. Those political marriage are not as strong as you imply them to be.
Okay, but they are a factor nonetheless. I mean, assuming even half of them showing up, Big Mom is still gonna have the greatest number that a pirate could have assembled in the history of the world.
It is quite pitiful that we have seen 300 chapters of Big Mom, and yet you need to make up scenarios to justify her power. I don't know if it's on you or on Oda. I'm gonna assume it's on you.
That is on Oda, because you see, but true, like even Smoothie, the second commander of Big Mom, never received any screen time. Oda in SBS told us that yes, she's very strong, but we never found enough time to like explore all of their stories. This is what happened when you have over 1,000 important characters in your plot. But nonetheless, I'm still gonna emphasize on this fact that Big Mom has the highest number in the history of piracy.
Once more big claims. Are you forgetting yourself? Ace Novel said that Whitebeard had the strongest pirate kingdom of his own.
We need to factor the fact that the timeline of Ace Novel was like 4-6 years ago, when Shanks was a Yonko for like 2 years. The power of Kaido and Big Mom grew tremendously throughout the time. Like in recent years, all those 500 zones that I mentioned added to the power of Kaido in the last 4 years. Those statements are old. Whitebeard was once the man with the strongest political power.
It is quite pitiful that you need to make up scenarios to justify your own headcanons over established canon data.
No, I'm just saying that we need to look at the facts and evidence and don't take statements as endgame. Sure, Whitebeard had those titles, but Big Mom and Kaido grew in time and they probably reached them.
Again, Ace Novel said that Whitebeard is world's strongest pirate, meaning he has the strongest kingdom, and this title was never given to any of the Yonko after Whitebeard.
That is a point! That is the point! Whitebeard was still called the world's strongest man. The man with heart disease, old age, who was beatable to most top tiers, was still called the world's strongest man. The world's strongest pirate is a political title about having the strongest land and the strongest kingdom. But again, if the titles in One Piece world don't get updated on a daily basis, once upon a time they had those titles, nobody took it away, and now they have it. And it's not a fact the same way that world's strongest man wasn't a fact at the old age of Whitebeard. That's just, you just proved them.
Quite truthfully, if you want to say that Whitebeard would lose a war to Kaido and Big Mom, I cannot take you seriously, even though I cannot take you seriously in any case.
Don't worry, I have him at my number 5. But I'm just gonna say that the battle between Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom is an extremely close battle, war, duel, and everything. These three people are very close, assuming Big Mom is on her prime. But Whitebeard is in my number 5 by a small gap.
You act as if this are your statements. Ace Novel said that no Yonko can afford to go to war against each other and come back alive. But strangely, you are excluding Shanks from your claim. I wonder why.
We will get to Shanks, but for now, let's talk about Whitebeard at number 5.
Defending Whitebeard is rather easy. I mean, my only objection is that why he is so low. After what happened in Marineford War, we should know that he is the strongest among the Yonko. Or you want to deny that?
Have you seen the ending of Marineford? And who was the final boss of that arc?
Did you forget what Big Mom said? She said, with the help of Elbaf, I am capable of defeating Shanks, Kaido, and even Whitebeard in a war, implying evermore that even Big Mom acknowledged Whitebeard to be the strongest among the Yonko in any way.
Okay, if you want to claim that Whitebeard is the strongest, Prime Whitebeard is the strongest person in a one-on-one among Yonko, sure. I even made a video about it somewhere around here, and you can watch it later on. But if you claim that Shanks or Kaido cannot give him an extreme difficulty, you're just wrong and you're just hyping old generation for no good reason.
This is a shonen. In this type of story, old generation always stand at top.
No, this is One Piece, and in One Piece, the old legends gave us this premise that the new generation will surpass the old one. It's a fact.
They were talking about Luffy and his generation.
No. They're not talking about Law and Kid. Law and Kid became hype tools of Shanks and Teach, meaning that narratives see them as new uprising powers of the new world. They might very well surpass Whitebeard and Roger. Soon, they are the golden boys of the story.
Okay, let's keep this video about the war. Explain to me, why do you consider Whitebeard to be lower than other, while we have clear statement that he was the strongest pirate?
Statements are important, but evidence matter more than statement. Akainu, after demolishing and giving 2 fatal attacks to Whitebeard, still was strong enough to give a fight to all of the commanders of the Whitebeard army. It's not that commanders are hype, but they are not untouchable to top tiers.
Okay, just out of curiosity, if Whitebeard was at his prime and had Odin, do you consider those versions of the pirate crew to be near Roger, where clearly don't imply to be them now?
Okay, let me just say this, that I'm gonna answer you, but for now, let's establish this. Green Bull versus Beast Pirates, Kuzan versus Big Mom Pirates, Kuzan versus Blackbeard Pirates, Akainu versus Whitebeard Pirates. One admiral is strong enough to take down all of these crews. Maybe Odin is strong enough to give, a good fight to an admiral, of course, win most of the cases, but Ben Beckman should be around the same level. Scaling Whitebeard back then is hard, but I would say the new crew they're around the same level. Whitebeard in his prime, Whitebeard at his old age, in the terms of war, they're around the same level, if you ask me.
I presume what you say might be true for the Logia admirals, especially my dear boy that I do indeed love, Akainu. But we should not forget that the commanders of Whitebeard were significantly stronger than the rest of the crews that you mentioned so far.
We keep saying that, but look at what happened in Marineford. Marco faced against admirals many times, but no damage. Only Jozo could have given a drop of blood to Aokiji, and Aokiji destroyed him in 1 second later on. They are not so special compared to Kaido Pirates or Beast Pirates or Big Mom Pirates. They are not.
Okay, let's move this forward. Who do you have at number 4?
I have Blackbeard Pirates, especially now that they have Kuzan added to their rank.
Oh, you gotta be... Actually, I can see that, especially since my boy Kuzan is there.
Honestly, what's to go ahead about? I just said that Whitebeard Pirate, assume Old Garb versus all of those crews. I still can give Old Garb the benefit of doubt that he can solo all of the Whitebeard underling, but he actually lost to Aokiji, Kuzan, and Blackbeard Pirates. The capability of defeating an admiral level character without losing a Yonko commander is something that I just don't see happening for any previous crew that I mentioned.
I hate to agree with you, but let's not forget that sure they are strong, but all of them, most of them, lost to Aokiji in a matter of seconds. Their main power is for having an admiral at their side. Most of them are still losers, and without Aokiji Kuzan, I would never have them this high, but they have an admiral. And yes, he might be undercover, but for now he is a Blackbeard Pirates. Also, Shiri of the Rain is solid and he have some narrative hype, but you see, for now they are a very established, a strong crew, stronger than any crew that we fight so far in the plot. Let's not create pointless mythology about the power level of those assholes. For all we know, Shiryu was only equal to Magellan, and his devil fruit didn't give him more power. I am not a Shiryu of the Rain fan, or I don't even know how he can give a good fight to Zoro, but I'm just saying that Teach will eventually surpass Whitebeard Pirates, and even as we speak, his army, with the help of Kuzan, already surpassed the army of Whitebeard. That's for a fact. Only thanks to my boy Kuzan. Who's in love with who right now? Hey, I do the sarcasm around here. Fine. But here's the thing. I believe Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido are comparable to themselves in terms of overall power and in one-on-one. But Teach, in the term of war, again, thanks to Aokiji, is visibly above them, and he is safe at rank 4. Though quite frankly, I am a bit disappointed with the capabilities that Blackbeard Teach have shown us so far. He attacked with a portion of his crew to Law and took tremendous injury. Yes, I still believe that he might be the weakest among... Like, he's not as strong as any original Yonko. Probably he has an edge. Now, not even Big Mom. No, he's like below every original Yonko in a one-on-one fight. But again, his army is solid and they had an amazing devil fruit hunt to make them even stronger. I am gracious enough to say that I won't blame him for running away from Akainu and Shanks, but we should not ignore the fact that he's disappointing on screen so far. Yes, but again, Teach is always a winner. He won every war. He won the Rocky Port incident. He won against like the payback bar. He almost won against Amazon Lily. He was the actual real winner of Marineford. Unlike what we assume, he's the greatest winner in the story of One Piece. While you were blabbering nonsense, I had a thought. I was far more intrigued with the concept of hunting devil fruits back then, and I'm quite frankly disappointed with the result. The devil fruits that I'm seeing are not quite close to what I have expected from these creatures. Come on, I mean, Chichi's not the type of fighter who can finish a fight very fast. He's the type of fighter who endure a lot of pain and then he will destroy them. He's like Kaido and Big Mom in some manner. You can't, and Law is also very visibly stronger than Captain Kid. Shanks had far easier job to do than Teach. So, my dear child, who do you have at number 3? Okay, brace yourself. I'm gonna say Rocks Pirates at number 3. Do you wish to die young? This is preposterous, outrageous, and stupid. Okay, give me a second. I have a perfect reason behind my rank. Whitebeard, Big Mom, Shiki, Kaido, John. Should I go on? Sure, but do you remember the moments that Big Mom said that Rocks is a useless fool and you should obey me, Kaido? Oh, a useless fool. Is that why you called yourself Rocks Review? Do you remember the moments that Whitebeard rejected the idea of him working under the command of Rocks, and he said, hey, when did I become your underling? So your cheap presumption is that Sengoku was lying. Won't be the first time. Look at the backstory of Rocks. Every single member who were there had their own flag and Jolly Roger. They were established captains and they are not part of Rock's Pirates. It might be shocking to you, but people are not as stupid as you are. We understood that they are the Grand Fleet of Rock's D Xebec. Therefore, they are part of his organization. No, they are not Grand Fleet. See, if you ask any member of the Grand Fleet, Cavendish or Bartholomew, if you ask, I don't know what did I pronounce? If you ask those people
who is your leader? Who is your supreme leader? They're gonna say it's Luffy. But Whitebeard rejected the idea of him working for Xebec. He is not even a Grand Fleet.
So, enlighten us, genius. What is your interpretation of the truth?
I'm gonna tell you, Whitebeard, Shiki, Big Mom, the rest of them, all of them are established pirates who are being ally with rocks once in a while. Like, remember what Big Mom said to Kaido, is this the first time you are joining rocks? Meaning, some of them joined rocks on a basis of goal. Like, they wanted to achieve something. They wanted to attack a place. They wanted to do something. So they would have joined force with the rocks pirates, and then they would attack. The actual crew of Captain Rocks is not included with Whitebeard, Shiki, Big Mom, Kai, any of, no, it's not. They are their own captain, and they are not part of their like Grand Fleet. They are people who sometime ally, and when they become ally, for some arrangement, probably Xebec takes the command. But they are not part of one organization. They are people who work together. They are like Law and Luffy who work with themselves a lot. You cannot say that Law is part of Luffy Grand Fleet because they work with each other. Remember Law, Kid, Luffy? They always like, no, we are not your underling, we're not your underling. It happened. Yeah, it's the same thing. Whitebeard, Shiki, Big Mom, they are not the underlings. They just work with Xebec sometimes. The actual crew should be far weaker because they only have Xebec. In fact, I'm doing Xebec a favor. I'm giving him number 3 with no big name underling. I'm just giving him that much respect.
And Captain Rocks D Xebec was surprisingly okay with this, being a saint.
Why not? Pirates working with each other is exactly the reason why world government was almost destroyed. The new system, the Yonko system, is every big pirates for themselves, and this system is beneficial for the world government. But back then, when pirates allied with each other, the existence of world government was in danger. This system of being allied constantly for different goals with rocks, probably Rocks was fine with that, and they achieved a lot of goal in this system. This was an era of allying with each other.
Now that you were mentioning, I had a different thought. The idea of world government with 5 Gorosei who might be as stronger than Admiral with Im-sama. It is a quite scary idea, isn't it?
Yes, and you know what? Yes, probably even back then, if all the pirates united, they will fall against the power of Gorosei and Im-sama and of every top tier back then. Sure. But again, Rocks Pirates without any ally, because I established that this is not one organization, is number 3. Maybe some big names served Xebec, but the actual main players were the captain of their own. And Xebec, with few number of big names and probably a massive fleet, were number 3 in a history of piracy. But of course, the alliance is number 1.
Why are you doing this to yourself? Just call them the strongest and get it over with.
Because people need to realize there is a difference between being allied with each other and actually being part of one organization. For example, I am not gonna have Odin as part of Roger Pirates. They worked together, they were allied with each other, but for merely 1 year, Odin was part of Whitebeard crew and he wasn't a Roger Pirate, even though he was a dear friend. Like, Odin is far closer to Roger than any of Roger's allies were close to him. But nonetheless, the rules of this video is still the same. Odin is not a Roger Pirate. Those captains are not a Rocks Pirate.
So let me guess, you have the Pirate King himself as your number 2.
Yes, of course, because his resume in a war is a bit shady. I mean, in God Valley, he had the help of Garling, Garp, and all of the government on that island. In Ed War, he won by luck. He never defeated Whitebeard. I mean, he never defeated single-handedly any of his major enemy in a war. He can be number 1 and he have probably the strongest right-hand man in the story as of now. But in terms of war, at number 2 is best for him.
What do you mean you're not sure? They fought against the Whitebeard Pirates. Yes, but back then, 26 years ago, the only strong member of Whitebeard Pirates were Odin. Rest of them were teenagers. Some of them were childs. Going toe-to-toe against them is actually a disgrace to the Roger Pirates. So you want to suggest that the Pirate King crew is weak? Roger crew was never a power-based crew. Fame, wealth, power. Did you miss the very first line of One Piece and what it implied? But them being the strongest crew was never part of Roger's dream. Whitebeard also never wanted power. He wanted a family for himself. True, and I don't have Whitebeard as number one in this list as well. Look, why even mentioning that? Great men don't seek power. Just say it. You want Shanks to be the number one. Here's the thing. Shanks' major commanders and himself are from all the corners of One Piece world. What's the reason, do you think? No, it's not a bit odd to me. I presume he's a man of travel. Remember what I said about Shanks and his crews? He went and personally recruited Yasopp from East to Blue to his crew. He is the only captain so far who handpicked his members. Are you forgetting that his allies are a joke? Oh, let me spin that around. Shanks' crew is so strong that he doesn't even need strong allies. But by the way, he also has strong allies. Sure, their hype is great, sure. But saying that they are number one, that is preposterous. What did Roger crew ever did, power-wise, so we can call them number one? What? At very least, fighting against Whitebeard Pirates. Okay, here's the thing. Whitebeard and his crew hesitated to avenge the deaths of Odin for 20 years. But Shanks, without any personal grudges, casually stopped Kaido without any fear of casualties. Shanks' hype in this comparison is clearly, significantly more than Whitebeard and his crew. Well, apparently I did walk into that one. You were so ready to bring this up. See, I'm fine with this idea that Roger Pirate can be above Shanks, but let's stick to the fact and narrative. Luffy's personal dream might be being the Pirate King, and people say that his goal is not to surpass Shanks, but to surpass Roger, but his personal goal is to surpass Shanks' crew, specifically. So narratively, Shanks Pirates being a number one, Red Hair Pirates, being a number one makes sense because they are the direct goal of Luffy and the Straw Hats. But narratively, it makes more sense for Roger to be number one. What am I saying? It makes more sense for Xebec to be number one. Here's the thing. Rock's Pirates is not one organization, and Shanks' crew are from high bounty, famous, legendary people from all corners of the world who are comparable to their captain. They are a balanced crew and they have the highest level of teamwork. Their trust in their captain is legendary. They are the perfect crew to be number one in One Piece's story. Sure, I'm gonna give them an award for Kiss Up to Your Boss Day. But this is about war. In a war, loyalty matter. And their loyalty is number one as of now in the story, or probably ever. Equal to Straw Hat and Roger Pirates. You cannot get more loyal than that. Aren't you the same man that just said don't make up cases? Listen, I understand. You want to have Shanks babies. But number one in history? That's too much. Here's the thing. Name me one united organization, so not rocks, that have a better hype than Red Hair Pirates. And not to mention they are saved for the final saga of One Piece. You know what bugs me above all? The fact that you act as if they are far above the rest. Because they might be. You see, in the chapter 957, world government specifically only mentioned the captain of Shanks to be legendary pirates and not rest of the Yonko. So the odds of them being something very special because they are high bounty and strong, famous, balanced people the odds of them being better is just on. Again, those information might be objectively wrong since we have Aokiji and he's the strongest underling of the Yonko. But objectively, it makes sense. Look at every crew that I just mentioned. Whitebeard, Roger, Big Mom, Kaido, everyone. All of them found their crew members. Whitebeard accepted as their child. Roger legitimately had 4 children on his crew. Big Mom just had whoever was his baby. Kaido beat people and gathered them. But Shanks, personally, specifically, went and selected them from all corners of the world. Remember back then when 100 million berry was a big deal, the rookie of Shanks Pirate had to have 100 million berry just to be in the circle. Shanks had a power-based crew, and he is the only crew in the story that collected his member base on their power. Not even Luffy did that. You know, this is getting tiresome. You are on purpose are disqualifying Rocks Pirates as an organization just to name Shanks as number 1. Well, that's Whitebeard's fault. If Whitebeard rejects the idea of him being an underling of Rocks, I am gonna believe him. You see, before that chapter, I never questioned Rocks Pirate being one organization, but after I'm hearing Whitebeard denial, I have no choice. Manga literally called them the strongest crew in history. And story later on told us that they are not united. But again, if you want to say Whitebeard is a member of Rocks Pirate, you have to say Roger is a member of Rocks Pirate as well, because they attacked God Valley as a united pirate world, and they worked together. So you want to say Roger is a Rocks Pirate as well, because he was there. Roger was doing his own business. No evidence implied that he was part of the Rocks Alliance. That's what I'm saying, that they are part-time allies. They are Kid, Law, and Luffy. They united for a while, but they were part of one army, but they weren't part of one organization. So, I mean, if you want to say Rocks is the strongest crew ever, be my guest. But you cannot say that my logic is wrong. I am not quite convinced yet. But the fact that Xebec had all of those great, immensely strong people and still lost, I'm still baffled by the power that world government has, and one day we need to face it in this story. I mean, but let's not forget that Goro specifically said, if we make Shanks mad, we cannot stop him. So even the hype of Shanks compared to world government is not okay. Low. You're going too far. Sure, Shanks can make a claim for number 1. But we're talking about the world government. Don't go too far. Don't go too far. Here's the thing. Remember when Big Mom confidently said, if I had Elbaf, I could have defeated Shanks, Kaido, even Whitebeard. Now, based on what we know, Elbaf is an ally with Shanks. So the idea of him being so strong, even government fear him, makes perfect sense. But no. The Elbaf Kingdom is not an ally to Shanks. Only Dory and Broggy are helping him. You mean captain of crews that terrorized New World for over a century? I'm telling you, the hype of Elbaf working with Shanks is just crazy. The strongest man, the strongest crew, in the strongest country. It makes sense. I don't know who should I be mad at, you or Oda. You know what? Now I wish Teach kill Shanks. Okay, fine. Sure, Teach with the 3rd Devil Fruit can defeat Shanks. But in a war, if Elbaf is truly loyal to Shanks, Teach cannot defeat him in a fair war. So in your deluded mind, you believe that Teach can surpass Shanks, but his crew cannot surpass Shanks' crew? Why not? As I said, the surpassing Shanks' crew is specifically the dream of main character, so it makes sense that nobody surpassed Red Hair Pirates until the day that every of Zoro, Sanji, all of them be top tiers, and they surpassed Red Hair Pirates. Roger with Odin, where do you rank him? Shanks with Elbaf can defeat him. So overall, you say that Rock's alliance with all of the underling are number 1. Shanks with Elbaf is number 2, Roger with Odin or without Odin in number 3.
Sure, and Luffy will surpass all of them, being number 1 when he unites all of the pirate world. His crew will surpass Shanks, his alliance will surpass Rocks.
I despise finding a common ground with you, but okay.
Well, who knows? Maybe you and I are not so different after all.
I am still not gonna subscribe to you, you know that, right?